Alright folks, here's an obvious question. Do football and politics mix? Let's get closer to the bone. Do football and government mix? You've seen it all. Abu Dhabi Royals, Qatar, Emirates, all these guys sticking the tips of their ends into the game. Look at all the shit that goes on in these places. The way they dismiss basic human rights, the way they treat foreign workers, the way they treat their own women. You know what, I could go on like some twat from Amnesty International or talking head invited on Channel 4 News, but I won't, because you all know what I'm getting at. So why are all this lot suddenly interested in our game? Is it for cash? Bollocks. Their cash is like an endless stream of shit coming out of a politician's gob. It's for cleansing. It doesn't have to mean cleaning up your cash. It could just mean cleaning up your image. Not everyone's a cliche from a mafia movie. There are a lot of different types of gangsters. This idea of cleansing and finding identity is nothing new. You see, this way, Western governments are not going to impose embargoes, sanctions, blah 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 on those who they are familiar with. Everyone is willing to turn a blind eye, providing the deal works out for everyone. It's happened before, and unless we kick it into touch, it will happen again and again and again. Now most of you won't know who this is. His name was Otto Nerz, and he was Germany's first football manager, and his life tells us of how the game that we all love can be used and abused by people to whom football is just another tool in their questionable aims. He was a member of the Nazi Party. He saw his job as being a means of glorifying his political beliefs and those of his masters, Adolf Hitler. Rightly so, he ended up in a prisoner of war camp after Hitler's defeat and was buried in an unmarked grave. I reckon he was lucky. I know exactly what I would have done to him. In case you think that was a one-off, let's just go back to 1978, when the military rulers of Argentina used a football World Cup to legitimize their bloody regime, which had killed thousands and disappeared even more. Don't you just love FIFA? They never learn, do they? Russia 2018, Qatar 2022. Bless them. Today 150 million people around the world play football, and 3 billion people watch the game. That's 1 in 2. So we don't want the likes of Otto into our game, because if he does so, he gets into our lives. A shitbag by any name is still a shitbag. There are too many of them inside the game already, and the last thing we need are more of them invading from the fringes. We need to keep a careful watch, unless we the people end up not only not owning our game, but in fact being used by others, manipulated by others, which have got nothing to do with our love for the game. Football's called a people's game, and for those of us who love the game for what it is and for not what it can do for us, it's important that it remains so. Okay, so would it be better if so-called democratic governments got involved, whatever that means? Seriously, no. But then again, they probably don't see any need to appear so clean. I'm not going to leave you with a thought as most columns do, certainly not on this occasion. There is no room for government in football. There is no room for politics in football. Stop wankers from infiltrating our game. Let's just keep it the people's game.